The rain poured down in thick sheets that morning, soaking the city in gray. Samantha Rhodes, the youngest CEO of a billion-dollar logistics firm, was running late, and she hated being late. Her stilettos clicked sharply against the marble floor as she stormed toward the company's main entrance, frustration radiating from her every step. The company van had arrived 10 minutes late to pick her up for the shareholders' meeting, 10 minutes that, to Samantha, felt like a disaster. "Mr. Carter," she snapped, the moment she stepped out of the vehicle. "You made me late. Do you have any idea how important this meeting was?" The driver, a man in his mid-30s, drenched from the rain, kept his eyes low. "I'm so sorry, ma'am. My son." "I don't want excuses," she interrupted, voice rising as several employees nearby froze in silence. "If you can't handle being on time, maybe you shouldn't be driving for this company." A tense hush fell over the crowd. The driver simply nodded, his jaw tight, and murmured, "Understood, ma'am." He climbed back into the van without another word. Samantha brushed past the onlookers and strode inside, her anger cooling into a dull headache. She told herself it was necessary, discipline kept people sharp. That's what leadership meant, right? But hours later, as the rain cleared and sunlight began to spill over the glass walls of her office, something in her chest twisted. She couldn't shake the look in his eyes, not anger, not defiance, just quiet exhaustion. That evening, when Samantha's assistant knocked on her door, she didn't expect what came next. "Ma'am," the assistant said softly, "the driver, Mr. Carter, he won't be in tomorrow. There was an accident." Samantha's heart lurched. "What kind of accident?" "His son, he's been sick for months. Apparently, he was running a fever this morning. Mr. Carter stopped to drop him off at a neighbor's house before coming to work. But now the boy's in the hospital. Pneumonia." For the first time that day, Samantha was speechless. The memory of her harsh words came crashing back like thunder. She had yelled at a man who was just trying to protect his child. Without thinking, she grabbed her keys and coat. When she reached the hospital, she found him sitting outside a pediatric ward, his clothes still damp, his face drawn and pale. In the small bed beside him, a boy of maybe 6 lay sleeping, an oxygen tube running across his tiny face. Samantha hesitated at the doorway before walking in. "Mr. Carter," she began quietly. He looked up, surprised. "Ms. Rhodes?" She swallowed hard. "I heard about your son. I didn't know. I shouldn't have spoken to you that way." He nodded, not saying much. "I've been where you are," she added, her voice trembling slightly. "My father worked 2 jobs when I was that age. He was late to one once, and got fired for it. I swore I'd never be like that boss, and today, I was worse." Mr. Carter stared at her for a moment, then looked down at his son. "You were just having a bad day," he said softly. "We all do." But Samantha shook her head. "No. There's no excuse for forgetting someone's humanity." She reached into her bag and handed him an envelope. "Your son's medical bills. Consider it covered, and take all the time you need." Tears welled in his eyes. "Ma'am, I can't." "You can," she interrupted gently. "And when you come back, I want you to take a different role, one that lets you be home with him more. You've earned it."